You know, you can go through so many letdowns from people around you that you feel like ain't nobody any good. He said, in my haste, so we know he was emotional and spoke too quick. But in my haste, ain't none of them church folk no good. I ain't going back to Greater Harvest. None of them smile at me. Don't nobody speak to me when I come in there. The devil is a liar. You in your emotions right now. Go sit down somewhere and talk to the Lord about it. You ever had a love for somebody that you were proud to make it public? Just want everybody to know. I scream it out the window. I put a sign up on the expressway. I love them. You ever had that kind of love? That's what I see in Psalm 116. I see a love letter. I see somebody expressing this relationship. He says, I love the Lord. Now, we don't know who wrote it, so you can insert yourself wherever you see fit. That's what I like about the Word of God. It hits me where I can see what David said. I can see what Hezekiah said. But I can also say the same thing because I love the Lord. I love the Lord because he had heard my voice. Y'all, he listening to me. You ever realize that the Lord listening to your conversation? I feel like sometimes the Lord is nosy because stuff that I ain't even talking to him about, I'm talking to you about it, and then he'll work it out on my behalf. He'll give me my heart's desire. I don't know if that's an appropriate adjective for him, but sometimes I feel like he just knows it. He want to know what his children are saying. I love the Lord. He heard my voice. I'm sorry. I need to correct the house because the Lord does listen to our hearts, and he does capture our tears, and he knows our thoughts. But I want you to understand right here, in order for him to hear my voice, I got to open my mouth. Some of us too quiet about the Lord. Some of us are too. He heard my voice. If I'm crying or I'm praying, I got to say something because the Lord is listening to what comes out of my mouth. And some of us are quiet with our praise. We stingy. You're holding stuff in. And I told them yesterday, a lot of this stuff that we're dealing with, strokes and aneurysms and nervous breakdowns and all that stuff, if we just open our mouths and let it out to the Lord, it'll take that pressure out of you and give it to him who can handle you. Because he had inclined his ear unto me. And because he inclined his ear to me, therefore will I call on him as long as I live. He's listening to me, and I'm going to keep on talking to him as long as I live. You can take prayer out of schools, you can take prayer out of job. I'm going to talk to the Lord wherever I go. You can put signs up in government regulations that it's not appropriate to pray here. You can't stop me. Oh, okay. It's election time. I know y'all. But verse 3, this is the kind of love that's real love. Bro, Poke, this that real love. Because some of us got that fair weather love. As long as they acting how you want them to act, you in love. As long as they get the right kind of candy and the right piece of jewelry, you in love. And then as soon as it get rocky, you fall out of love. This love says, the sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell got hold on me. I found trouble and sorrow. Then I called upon the name of the Lord, and I beseech thee, deliver my soul. And guess what? Gracious is the Lord. He did it. I was going through. It didn't prevent me from going through. I felt some pain. I felt some sorrow. I had some struggles and some grief. And hell was trying to take me out of here. But I called on the Lord, and I prayed and said, Lord, deliver me. And I found his grace. Anybody in that club with me? I and he showed up. I called on him and he answered. Gracious is the Lord and righteous. Yea, our God is merciful. The Lord preserveth the simple. I was brought low. And there are many things can bring you low. Sister Jeanette, many things can bring you low. Sometimes, if we too high, we think too high of ourselves, the Lord will humble us. But there are some things that happen in life that will knock you, my father used to say, knock you off your high horse. There's some things you get a report from the doctor and be on 10 on cloud 9 one day and get a bad report and it just knock the wind out of you. You can experience some things in your life that knock the wind out of you. You can experience some things that bring you low. But God is our helper in my lowest point, in my depleted state. Listen, and I don't want you to even assume that I'm saying everything happened to you. Some of us made choices on our own, and that humbled us because the results we got took us out. We realized that we weren't where we thought we were. And even when I realized that my own choices set me up for failure, I can still talk to the Lord because my low state doesn't change his love for me. He helps me. You can't be so proud and you can't be so sorrowful that you can't ask God for help. If you don't ask another human for help, at least talk to heaven for help. I love the Lord. He's listening. Tell your neighbor, he's listening. He's listening. He's listening. Tell the other neighbor, he's listening. He said he helped me after I was brought low. He helped me. And then after he helped me, I started talking to my own soul. I said, return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath done bountifully with thee. The Lord has blessed thee. Yeah, the Lord has blessed me. I need to tell my own self. Sometimes you got to talk to your own self and say, you got to be in peace. Get yourself together. God is working this thing out. Marlon, get yourself together because God has it all under control. It doesn't matter if you low or high. God is still in control. Matter of fact, it doesn't matter who wins these elections on Tuesday because my God is still in control. Don't you get all twisted up and tangled up. I pray all the backroom deals fall apart and the will of the Lord be done. And whatever that is, I'm going to be at peace because my God return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath dealt bountifully with thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death, mine eyes from tears, and my feet from fall. That's some kind of testimony right there. There's a lot going on in that verse. He saved me when the enemy was trying to kill me, when my heart was broken and I was crying and snotting and slobbing all over the place. He healed my heart and dried my tears up. And then when I would have fallen, he kept me from falling, all in that one verse. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I believed, therefore I have spoken. I was greatly afflicted. And then while I was greatly afflicted with me, I said in my haste, all men are liars. You know, you can go through so many letdowns from people around you that you feel like ain't nobody any good. He said in my haste, so we know he was emotional and spoke too quick. But in my haste, ain't none of them church folk no good. I ain't going back to Greater Harvest. None of them smile at me. Don't nobody speak to me when I come in there. The devil is a liar. You in your emotions right now. Go sit down somewhere and talk to the Lord about it.